Hey everyone, this is Greg with Peninsula Homes Real Estate, and I wanted to make this quick video because one of the questions that we frequently get all the time is exactly what forms do we have to fill out, exactly what is required to get this flat fee MLS service started. So we thought, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to make a video and actually show you the forms, and it can also serve as a guide to when you do have the forms in your hand, you can go back to the video and look at this overview one more time for each form. Now I do want to say that when we created this service, it was created specifically for sale by owners, as a way for sale by owners to get their homes included into the MLS. But later we thought, hey, wouldn't this also be of value to regular listings, people who have their homes listed with a real estate agent, but the listing has expired, the house hasn't sold for whatever reason, and they may decide that they want to only continue with just the MLS only. So we thought it'd be valuable to them as well. And I'm saying this to acknowledge that we know there's going to be two groups of people watching this: for sale by owners and people with recently expired listings. And if you do decide to do this and you want to contact us, go ahead and let us know which group you are. Let us know if you are a for sale by owner or if you are an expired listing. And the reason why is, if you are an expired listing, then of course a lot of your key information, it's already in the MLS. I just have to find that listing and we can get a lot of your key information directly off of that expired listing. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So here is the actual agreement. This is the agreement between you and Peninsula Homes Real Estate. This is you giving us the authorization to represent you in the MLS and giving permission for us to list your home in the MLS. And the next form, this is the actual MLS listing agreement. So this is the actual agreement. And for the for sale by owners, note that this is an exclusive agency agreement. This is the type of agreement where a real estate agent represents you, lists your home in the MLS, and simultaneously you still have the rights and the freedom to sell the home yourself. So whatever you're currently doing, you continue to currently do it. You just now have your home listed in the MLS. So it gives you the best of both worlds. Now, the company that runs the MLS in the Hampton Roads area is called Real Estate Information Network. That's the company that actually runs the MLS. And our type of agreement, the one that we just showed, the flat fee MLS service, of course, that is not the standard real estate listing agreement. So they say on all non-standard listings, we have to include this addendum. So that's what this is. This is their addendum, and basically it's just letting you know the MLS rules. To have your home in the MLS, there's certain rules the homeowner and the real estate company has to follow. The biggest one for the for sale by owners, probably the biggest one of all, is your for sale sign that you have in the yard, the sign on your property. That sign has to now match whatever company has you listed in the MLS. So the sign you have to change the sign, and the sign now has to say Peninsula Homes Real Estate, and our contact number is 838-4663. The 4663 spells out the word home. So if you want to, you can put 838 home. Now, whenever we get a call on your sign, we immediately find out what address the call is about, and then we just give them your contact number, all your contact information. So it basically is just a relay system. You still get all of the calls directly, but we're compliant with the MLS rules. The other form, this is the actual MLS input sheet. This is the form I'll be using to key your information into the MLS. Now, on this form, there's going to be some obvious real estate jargon and some MLS terms that only I'm going to know. Don't worry about that. Just fill out the stuff, the obvious stuff that you know, like the price of the home, the address, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, is it a one-story rancher, is it a two-story home, and so forth. And then further down the form, you're going to see the actual description, just like you were taking out an ad, what you want the general public to see. Remember, when the home gets entered into the MLS, it's also going to get syndicated to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Yahoo Homes, all of those sites. So if somebody sees it there, it's not going to be a real estate agent. It's going to be an actual customer. So it's going to be whatever you want them to see. That's going to be in that description. This is part 2 of that same form. And all it is just a simple checklist. You're going to go through and you're going to check off the amenities in your home. If you have a balcony, you're going to check that off. If it has a sunroom, you're going to check that off. All of those type things. If you're going to be leaving the refrigerator, check that off. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to go through, you're going to check off everything, all of the amenities, all of the features that your home has. This form is a state of Virginia federal law, and it just simply says that the seller of a home has to disclose known defects to the prospective buyer. It has the website address here where you can go and you can read the actual Virginia statute if you like, the requirement. That's the website here. This particular form is saying the seller is not aware of any known defects, and it is on the buyer to do their due diligence, inspect the home, get a home inspection, and so forth. That's basically what this form is saying. This form will not protect the seller if they do any sort of blatant act of dishonesty, like they tried to cover something up and the buyer discovered it later. So if there's a known defect, just adhere to the law and let the buyer know. This is a general disclosure form. Essentially, they take all of the pertinent information that they feel a seller should know about. They put it all on one form and say, here, now you've been informed. And that's what this form is. You're simply signing it to acknowledge that you received it. There's going to be things on here that obviously is not going to apply to every sale. For instance, if you live in a condominium, then you know part of what you're going to need to do during the sales process is provide that buyer with a package that tells all of the condominium rules and regulations and do's and don'ts. You have to provide them that package. If you live in a townhouse community, if you live in an association community, you have a similar process where you get them the association package. It's not going to apply to you at all if you just live in a regular home. So there's going to be stuff in here that won't apply to every sale. There's things in here like if you live in a known area where there's excessive jet noise, you're going to have to let the buyer know about that, etc. So it's going to be stuff like that. It's all going to be on this form. And the last form, only if your house was built before 1978. 1978 and after, lead-based paint was illegal. So it's impossible for a house that was built after 1978 to have lead-based paint. So this form would not be necessary. If your house was built before 1978, absolutely it does not mean that there's lead-based paint. It only means that it was around during that time. There is a possibility, and it's up to the buyer if it's something that they are concerned about. It's totally up to them if they want to get in a specific lead-based paint inspection. However, if you know that the house had lead-based paint and you took some sort of action in the past, you have to provide all of that documents to the buyer. So that's what this form is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to send you out these forms. You're going to review it. If you have any questions, you can go back and look at this video again, or you can simply call us and we can go over it with you. But if everything's okay, you're going to sign the forms, you're going to get them back to us, and then we are going to actually enter your home in the MLS, and we're going to send you a direct link to the actual listing, and this is what it's going to look like. This is exactly what realtors will see when they log into the MLS. So we're going to send it to you. It is also going to be your proof, your evidence that the service was completed.